At least for right now. I wish I could say the same thing about the pollen. Getting rid of some of that would be nice. I don't know what it is in the air these days, but everybody here at News 12 has been coughing and just sort of sneezing a little bit. I don't think I'm hoping it's not the flu. It's definitely not COVID, but whatever it is, needs to be taking a hike pretty soon at some point to give us a little bit less in the way of problematic air. Some of it's probably smoke, I would guess, but it's a good possibility that we're going to continue to see this very ugly situation continuing. As long as we don't get too much in the way of rainfall, it would be nice if we actually did get some out there, but that is just not happening anytime soon for now. Very dry conditions, and even with the rain that we had today, such as it is, we are going to be seeing the potential of some more scattered showers out across portions of the area, which might help a little bit when it comes to breathable air out there. Some rainfall, again, possible in the next couple of days. Does not look to be a problem for Halloween, and even though there is the potential of some rain on Election Day, I don't see a major problem coming up. Definitely nothing to make you avoid getting out and getting your vote cast next Tuesday. Election Day coming up very soon. We also have a lot of other stuff to talk about. Let's go ahead and get started for this evening. This is Weather Overtime, live and direct from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick, keeping you updated with what's going on with the weather. Pardon me if my throat gets a little stuffy at times, because unfortunately, whatever it is, it's in the air and doing a very good job of causing me to have breathing issues, which is kind of rare for me. Nothing in the rain gauge for today. Officially, we didn't even manage to get anything at the airport. Widely scattered showers across much of the area. 3 1/3 inches behind for the month. We've only picked up 0.14 of an inch for the entire month, so this is going to be a very dry October, and we are now completely and totally into the double digits again. We're seeing the potential of anything involving very heavy rain well behind us at this point, and nothing coming up that's really going to help. The basic bottom line is this: we've got about, give or take, 8 weeks, 8.5 weeks until the end of the year. To put that in perspective, for us to catch up to anything involving getting just breaking even for the year for an absolutely, completely, and totally fantastically normal year, we would have to get an inch plus every week from now until the end of the year. That's, give or take, again, about 8.5 weeks or so. So that's about 1.25 inches, all the way through December 31st. Whether or not that happens, as we are in that upswing, November and December do pick up a little bit more in the way of rainfall, not much. And that is certainly proved by what we're looking at again for right now, because 10 inches behind, that is some exceptionally dry conditions. We have been in a deficit for a better part of the year, and we really need some help getting out of that because we're not going to be seeing too much of anything else for a while. Now, we did have a few scattered showers out there, and you can see a couple of remnants passing through right down around portions of Atlanta, up across the foothills of the Appalachians. A few sprinkles showing up, but really that's about it. There wasn't that much out there to begin with, and there's not going to be that much coming up into the course of the next couple of days. So we do see the potential of some, just not really all that much. It continues to be very much on the mild side. Back into the 60s across much of the area. Winds out of the south keeping the temperatures up, and that is doing a good job of, again, keeping things well above where they should be. These temperatures right now, these should be our normal high temperatures for this time of the year, and we were way above that for today. Nothing record-breaking, but no good news when it comes to October cool conditions. Now, if you take a look way back to the north and west of us, that is the much colder air, and there's the front, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska. That's the cold temperatures starting to make their way down this direction. So it is on the way, and it is going to give us, again, the potential of some a little bit cooler numbers, but only briefly, and that's about as good as it gets. We've got a couple of systems here kind of working together at this point. Notice the winds coming in from out of the south and east. That's some of the moisture out there. the moisture-laden air from off the Atlantic and off the Gulf of Mexico. That is due, if you take a look off the East Coast, those big blue H's, again, high pressure doing just what its name implies, pushing down to the surface, issuing pressure downwards, and that's doing a good job of keeping things stable. If it was unstable, thunderstorms could form like right along this front, which is where we had some pretty good amounts of severe weather earlier tonight, and probably will see some other problems out there into the next couple of hours as that system moves on through. Several severe thunderstorm warnings out for portions of Oklahoma and also into and around Kansas City, Des Moines. That is along that system. Now, this is an area of low pressure, that big L right there, the atmosphere swirling around that area of low and trying to fill up that gap and stabilize the air pressure. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the coastline there, high pressure over dominating everything and keeping things very stable. So the difference between the high pressure and the low pressure, in between, right in those areas, as those systems kind of come together, what we are looking at is the potential of this system kind of squeezing the atmosphere by just a little bit in the lower sections of the atmosphere. Right in through here, between this and that, is where we see the potential of some very breezy conditions across portions of the area tonight and into early tomorrow. Now, again, for the time being, we do have, it's not for a great deal of the area, but it is in effect for a portion of the News 12 viewing area. And this, again, for Chattanooga over here. Again, this is for southeastern Monroe County, Tennessee, part of the News 12 viewing area, right up against that area of the Tennessee-North Carolina state line. That is, again, where we may see winds of 40, close to 50 miles per hour, especially in the higher elevations. So this is in effect tonight until 8 o'clock Thursday morning. So right in this area is where we may see the potential of some very breezy conditions. And notice that that goes right on up, right over toward around the area of Knoxville, and then back up to around where the interstate split, going down to Asheville and up toward Johnson City. So right along that area of Monroe, Blount, Sevier counties, all the way up the North Carolina-Tennessee line, that is where we may see the potential of some very breezy conditions for tonight. So please keep that in mind if you're traveling. All right, let's take a look and see what's going to be going on into the near future. Again, by Thursday afternoon, we'll see that front again. I think high pressure out to the east is going to be holding up the progress of this. It's already slowed it down a little bit. So for right now, the potential is to be able to see for trick-or-treating time tomorrow, 7, 8 o'clock. I think the front is going to be just into Middle Tennessee, but I'm not seeing much of anything that says that this system is going to be close to the area enough to threaten Halloween and trick-or-treating. So that is some good news. That front continues to make its way slowly toward us, should be very close to the area by midnight Thursday, and then into around Friday morning. That's where we see more chances of showers and thunderstorms. There's not enough moisture, there's not enough instability with this to give us anything in the way of widespread severe weather. We remember we are now in that second severe weather season for the year. It's not as big as January, February, March, April, but it is a second peak of severe weather as the seasons start to change, and that is where we see the potential of more storms, more active weather coming up. So the front itself, again, by Friday morning, gives us that possibility of showers and thunderstorms. And then getting into dismissal time for the kids, there might be some lingering showers around. After that, we see by Friday night football, the front is basically kind of washing out in the atmosphere. By this point in time, running up against that area of high pressure, it really starts to erode, and there's really not that much left to it. So we don't have a lot of power with this front by the time it makes its way down to us. The potential of some areas of thunderstorms, yeah, not a lot though. And then we get out of Friday and into the weekend, just a few clouds. Chances of rain back to the northwest of us as our next storm system gets lined up over parts of the plain states. That is the system that is going to be making its way toward us as we get toward Election Day. Still, I don't think is going to be a problem out there for anything in the way of severe weather, so good news on that. It is going to be very mild, no change in temperatures as we go into the next several days. So for October, out of October into November, above to very much above good chances for very warm weather coming up, according to the Climate Prediction Center, into the first week of November. There really is just no good news here when it comes to anything involving cooler weather. Frost to kill the pollen, that's not happening either at this time. So if your outdoor gardens are depending on rainfall, you're going to want to get the watering can or the hose out there to irrigate stuff. And other than that, not looking again at too much of any help from anywhere where the rainfall is concerned. Now, for tomorrow, I think that there is not going to be a problem out there for the trick-or-treaters. It is going to be a new moon, so there's not much moonlight, but there's going to be a lot of clouds out there. We're talking shirt-sleeve weather for the adults who are going to be going out and about with the kids. Sunset at 10 minutes roughly before 7 o'clock tomorrow Eastern time, and we'll not see much out there in the way of moonlight, so you're going to need, again, the bright flashlights, the reflective tape. Let's watch. If you're a motorist, let's watch, because, again, kids darting in between cars and residential areas. Let's be careful out there for everybody's sake. And then by the time trick-or-treating wraps up, I don't think we're going to be looking at too much of anything going on in the way of very cool conditions, so it's going to be exceptionally mild this time around, but I don't think we're going to see too much in the way of rain right after this. That is where we're going to be picking up the potential of some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder into Friday morning. We'll take a look at the Friday night football forecast coming up a little bit later, so stay tuned again for that condition. Downtown, it's beautiful, a little hazy, kind of smoky out there, but otherwise looking back toward the around the area of the TVA building and the public library, very quiet conditions for now. Into and around excuse me, the rest of the forecast through about the next couple of days. A lot going on here. So Halloween, warm, breezy, showers after midnight into and around Friday. Then, again, we get the end of the showers into and around portions of the area, ending by the time we hit Friday night football. Daylight saving time. Again, turn your clocks back 1 hour this weekend. Why we're still doing this, I have no idea. We should be able to get rid of this pretty easily, but apparently we can't even legislate our way out of this situation. In the next few days, as we go toward Election Day, chances of showers, but only showers showing up, and minor chances only, so do not let the weather be an excuse. Get out and cast your ballot like a good citizen should. Make certain that you're doing your civic duty. People have fought and died for our rights to vote, so get out the vote. Get out there and do your civic duty as you should be doing. I'm going to be at my polling place. If I had to use early voting, I would do so, but I feel that it's my duty to show up no matter how long the lines are, and if necessary, if I get stuck in a long line at my polling place, I will do the weather live from the polling place line in order to make certain I can get in to vote. So, again, something to think about on that for there. More chances of rain as we go into the early days of November. A better chance by this time next week, but not looking at a lot of great chances. And also some very mild temperatures. Remember, on the almanac, the normal high temperature for this time of the year is about 68 degrees, and we are going to be well above that for the next few days. This is very unseasonably mild weather for late October, early November, so not going to be seeing much change out there. The really cold days, the days of frost, are still not here. The average first frost, if I'm not mistaken, around here is somewhere around Veterans Day, and we're coming up on that. But if things don't change, we are not going to be seeing a great deal of frost here anytime soon. So doubtful that's going to be taking place at any point in time out there. We'll keep you updated on those temperature changes, so keep it tuned to News 12 for more. Thanks a lot to News 12 viewer Wanda Bowers from 10 Mile, Tennessee. Nice view of some autumn colors subtly changing in the greens and reflected nicely in the water there. That's our Langley Roofing weather window picture of the day. If you've got pictures, would love to show them, but we can't do that unless you are sending them in to us. So whatever you see through the camera eye, send it in to us, email it to us, drop it to our social media pages in the comments section, or go to our website, wdef.com/photos for more. And your opportunity to get your picture seen far and wide. And thanks to everybody for sending in the pictures so far. Been some excellent views out there. Very nice to be able to see what you've been seeing. Tomorrow morning, very mild, a little windy through the day, and then more clouds than anything else. The chances of showers today, pretty much that's going to be about it. Now, early tomorrow, thanks to the rain we got today and a couple of days before, and the low-level moisture coming in from off the Atlantic and the Gulf, we may see some fog again tomorrow morning, especially in the low-lying areas, so that could be a concern. Chip will have your forecast and time-saver traffic on the morning show, so again, please stay tuned for more on that. All right, want to get some good atmospheric and science news in here. This comes to us from NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA Research. Again, a lot of people want to get rid of NOAA because they think they talk too much about climate change. Well, climate change is one of the things they talk about, but they have a lot of different other operations: research, marine debris, National Hurricane Center, Severe Storms Forecast Center, the National Weather Service in general. And this today from NOAA Research: since recovery of the ozone hole began after chlorofluorocarbons were banned, the most recent survey, as of just about a month or so ago, that the largest daily extent of the ozone hole around Antarctica, again because chlorofluorocarbons were eating away at the ozone layer, and we need this to survive on this planet. This is a critical function of our planet to keep us alive by filtering out ultraviolet rays from the sun. And as we use chlorofluorocarbons in refrigerants and all sorts of other things, that was eating away and causing the ozone hole to get bigger and bigger and bigger. That, again, can lead to cancer from ultraviolet rays. It can kill crops. It can do a lot of things. And we kind of sort of need this to survive here. So this is a good thing that since chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs, were banned, and it was discovering that they were causing the problems, the current ranking of the ozone hole, this is the 7th smallest hole since recovery began back in about the mid to late 80s, somewhere in there, once CFCs were banned across the planet. So as of right now, again, very good news to see this, but we still have a long way to go to get the ozone hole closed up. Thanks to NOAA Research for doing it. Again, one more good example about what NOAA does. We've said this for the last couple of weeks. Again, NOAA taking a look at weather myths, or in this case, disinformation, that people are passing along, these absolutely stupid theories that say that we are in an age of weather manipulation, in that Doppler radar can be used to move hurricanes around. Now, they don't explain how that can happen, or do they provide any facts to say, here's how Doppler radar can actually do something like that. That is something that it's a great claim in and of itself. It's completely and totally bogus that they can do it, because Doppler radar is a weather detection tool. It does not have the power to move millions upon millions of tons of water in the atmosphere around. Detect it? Yes. When it gets close enough to a coastline? Yes. But it does not have the power to move hurricanes. It's never been that type of a situation, nor is it possible to do so for a political benefit. This really irks me when people who should know better on things like this, especially in high office, pass along this type of absolute bourgeois. So again, totally, completely bogus. More information from NOAA News and Features. Go to the website at noaa.gov, NOAA.gov, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about that. Now, not this weekend, but next weekend, the Barnard Astronomical Society will be holding their latest star party, Real and True Science of Astronomy. If you'd like to look through their telescopes at Harrison Bay State Park, Saturday, November 9th, 5 to 10 p.m., Great opportunity to learn more. If it's cloudy or the weather is not going to agree, they will cancel or postpone. You need to follow their website or their social media pages, and you can find out more by going to barnardastronomy.org to find out more details there. Weather 101 from Nashville National Weather Service. This morning's topic was weather observations in 3 dimensions, no longer just a 2D game on a sheet of paper, taking it out in 3 dimensions to be able to see how, why, where things are going to happen and what could be caused because of that. That was a neat little process right there. We have more Weather 101s coming up into November, including and finishing up October. The information coming up tomorrow evening, if you're not doing trick-or-treating and you want to learn more about weather, great opportunity to learn more about the science of floods and flash floods. That'll be 7 p.m. Central Time. Nashville National Weather Service is in the Central Time Zone, so 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's an online webinar. You can learn. They teach you everything online. The Skywarn courses locally from National Weather Service Morristown online as well. So this is a great opportunity to learn. More information at our website, wdef.com/weather, or you can just go to the National Weather Service at weather.gov. Click on Middle Tennessee, and it'll take you to the National Weather Service Nashville, and look for their Weather 101 section of that page, and you'll be able to see more there. Really want to make certain that everybody is paying attention to this, because this is a very important thing to talk about in the course of the next several days and weeks. As I mentioned earlier, we are in that time frame of a second severe weather season. Well, we'll go ahead and talk about this while I have it up here. Again, if you've never been to a National Weather Service office, this weekend is an open house that was going to happen in September, but Hurricane Helene interfered with that, so they had to cancel this by the National Weather Service and at the National Weather Service in Morristown, Tennessee. This Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., your opportunity to go to the National Weather Service, enter the facility, see what it goes on there, ask questions. If you think NOAA is a waste of your taxpayers' dollar because all they do is talk about climate change, well, here's your opportunity to find out what NOAA does and go to this event. It's a rare thing to have an open house at a National Weather Service. So your opportunity to ask questions, be curious, find out more about what is going on. This is a golden opportunity right here, and I hope you take advantage of it. Again, this is this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. More information at the weather section for Morristown, weather.gov/MRX, or go to our website down below the forecast on the weather page, wdef.com/weather, and you'll be able to learn more there. Hope I did not delete this because I would love to be able to show this to you. Unfortunately, I just kind of move things around here a little bit, so by the time I get back online with this, usually it's here. Give me just a second here. What we're going to be looking for is, again, severe weather information, Skywarn information. There's going to be an online Skywarn spotter training. And I know I've talked about this before in the last few nights. It's very important to be able to have as many Skywarn spotters as possible. If we don't have them, then we don't get the best coverage that we can possibly get, and that is something that we want to make certain that everybody is aware of and becomes a volunteer. And there it is. Okay, so what do you do when you can't attend a meeting from the National Weather Service, an in-person meeting that teaches you Skywarn practices? Well, the National Weather Service in Morristown has graciously put together an online virtual Skywarn Storm Spotter training class. You can take the class whenever you want to. All you have to have is an internet connection, take the course, pass the exam, register with your local National Weather Service office as a Skywarn spotter, and you can help protect your community during times of severe weather. That is an important thing, so that when the National Weather Service needs to get in contact with you, they can call you or you can call them to let them know what is going on. your eyes, your ears, your brains can help save lives. And the more Skywarn spotters we have, the better off we are all going to be. So please make certain that you are registered, tested, and ready to go. And you could be a Skywarn spotter that could really help out when it comes to severe weather. All right, speaking of severe weather, and one of my favorite movies, the 1996 weather movie Twister. The director, Jan de Bont, I'm not too sure how to pronounce that, insisted on filming in which Midwestern state? Kansas, Nebraska, Texas, or Oklahoma? 75% of you said Oklahoma, and that is the correct answer. Some of the scenes were shot in Ohio, but most of them were shot in various locations, especially in northern Oklahoma. So that's our friendinroofing.com weather poll of the day. You can vote on our other polls at wdef.com/vote now if you'd like to be able to see more about what goes on there. So stop by and take a look around and to cast your vote in the News 12 weather quiz of the day. And again, thanks to friendinroofing.com for being our sponsor for that. Likewise, thanks to Rough Cuts Dog Grooming of Cleveland, Tennessee. Excuse me a second. Cheers. You talk for as long as I do and get the dry, smoky, polleny air in here, and it really goes to town on your voice after a while. Thanks to Bill and Meg of Cleveland, Tennessee for a review of Roxy getting a spa day at Uptown Hound. That's our picture for our Rough Cuts Dog Grooming of Cleveland dog walking forecast of the day. Tomorrow morning, a lot of clouds and decently cool, but nowhere close to frosty for you and Fido. Hopefully not going to need anything in the way of rain protection, but there could be some mist and fog out there right before sunrise. So please keep that in mind. And again, thanks to Rough Cuts Dog Grooming of Cleveland for being our sponsor there for that. I think that should do it for tonight. We've been on for, again, just about a half an hour or so. 7-day forecast, astronomy, etc., etc. I think that's pretty much it for tonight. No questions showing up on Twitch. Thanks to everybody on Twitch for being the new followers out there. Really appreciate you stopping by and signing up. So thank you very much for making certain you sign up for the updates on here. We'll have more details on your forecast coming up on News 12 at 11. Chip Chapman has your forecast bright and early in the morning, and of course we'll have more on Halloween tomorrow to give you an idea of what's going on with the ghosts and goblins for the forecast there. More information on our website, bottom of the screen, or right here, wdef.com/weather. Questions, concerns, something you want to ask, email address right there at aonic@wdef.com. And, of course, we'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. That's also where you can find stuff like the 7-day forecast, the lower left-hand corner of your screen, where you can see the temperatures and everything else out there and a lot of weather graphics to keep you informed. So stop by our website or download the News 12 weather app today. Great opportunity to stay informed there. Live and direct for Wednesday evening, I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick. Thanks for joining us on Wednesday night for our News 12's exclusive video weather blog, Weather Overtime, and we'll talk to you again coming up on Thursday evening. And safe trick-or-treating out there.